Hello everyone, and today on another episode of Meet the Property Guy, and as we promised that we'll be having a couple of in-depth interview sessions right here on our channel now, where we'll be bringing in experts and intelligent professionals at different sectors of the real estate markets. So today we'll be looking at how to improve the mortgage financing and the mortgage market here in Nigeria. And definitely I'm not a mortgage expert. So I've gone into the market and gone into the industry to bring in an expert who have been in this industry for over 2 decades. And he has got the experience, the knowledge, financed a lot of houses for Nigerians here and Nigerians in diaspora. And he's also someone that I've been working with also for the past 3 years. So I know him in and out. So I'll be introducing Mr. Uche, right? Mr. Uche Amagu to you today to talk about the mortgage system here in Nigeria and the different ways where mortgage financing can be improved, because I know a lot of you guys here, a lot of you guys over there are looking at different ways, different financing options to buy your home. So Mr. Uche Amagu, nice to have you here at Meet the Property Guy channel.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. I know this is the first time we're actually meeting physically. Yeah. And we've been communicating for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Directed a lot of contacts over to him to handle their financing. And very interestingly, also, his bank also have been working in partnership with a lot of property developers here in Lagos, yeah. Landmark, Victoria Crest Homes. At least I know those two very, very well. And so for a couple of you guys that have been looking at buying a house from Landmark or to buy a house from Victoria Crest Homes, then these are the guys that you guys should be talking to, right?
Well, thank you for the opportunity for us to meet.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Actually, we have been financing for Victoria Crest Home, Landmark Properties, okay, Kickwood Properties, okay, Roxbury Properties, okay. We also been doing for quite a lot of developers. We are in relationship with almost all the developers in Lagos. Wow. We have relationship with them.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting, because what this means for you guys that want to buy a property or want to buy a house here in Nigeria, either you are in diaspora or you are in Nigerian here with your source of income here, as long as the bank already have a partnership with the developer that you want to buy from, it means that they don't need the papers or the property papers again from the developer again. All the eligibility and requirement they need now is now from you, who is the person that is also trying to buy the property, if I'm correct.
Yeah, you are correct. What we do to an extent, most of the developers we are working with, before they start their project, we already have their papers,
title documents.
We have to check. We have gone to their some due diligence on their title document.
Okay.
So when you if you identify with them, if you are buying from their property, we will not be asking you. Unlike when you are buying from a developer on the street, we tell you get a photocopy of the title document. In this case, we just say bring your requirement. We will deal with the developer and what is required.
Wow, and we'll that's really fantastic, because that's to some extent I've cut off like 50% of the entire mortgage challenge for you. Because what I always advise my contacts now is first talk to the bank before you go and look for a property. Because by the time you are talking to the bank and you yourself, your papers are not complete, you are there, you have found the property already, and you are looking for the bank to finance in 3 weeks, and your own paper is not even complete. So for the next maybe 6, 8, 9 weeks, you are still talking with the bank and the property is sold. But if you have already sought your own documentation with the bank and look for a property, then the entire process will be very, very streamlined. So, and now we have done a couple of episodes here on my channel about mortgages, the interest rates, the eligibility, the differences between mortgage and off-plan. But this time around, I don't really want to go too much about the definition or how you can get a mortgage finance. But this time around, we are looking at how mortgage financing can be improved here in Nigeria, particularly in Lagos. Let's put it that way, because 50% of property purchases right now in Nigeria is in Lagos. So, and if mortgage financing, mortgage option in Lagos can be improved to a certain point, then also that can definitely also help with the housing deficit, and can also push more people's interest in buying property in Nigeria also. So, firstly, you'll be looking at the eligibility. Okay. Now, in terms of being eligible for mortgage, either I'm a Nigerian here, or let's start with Nigerians in diaspora this time around. So let's say this particular episode will be for Nigerians in diaspora. Likely we are going to have another episode where we talk about Nigerians here. So let's talk about the eligibility for Nigerians in diaspora. What are the requirements basically?
Okay, actually the basic requirement for mortgage for Nigerian in diaspora, the basic requirement, the first and the necessary and sufficient requirement that you must be a Nigerian.
Wow. Okay.
So once you are a Nigerian, you are living abroad, you are qualified.
Okay.
Then we start looking at the micro qualification areas, which is number one. What are you doing over there?
Okay.
Are you doing legal things?
Okay.
Do you have your papers?
Okay.
Yeah. If you have all those things, we ask you what you are doing. If you are doing business, good. Is your business registered over there where you are living?
Okay.
Good. If it's registered, send us the documents that shows that it's registered.
Okay.
Then if you are working over there, what we need your 1 year account statement.
Okay.
We need your pay slip.
Okay.
We need your appointment letter.
Okay.
You understand? Then these are some of the things. Then another thing that is very important, because the person is not in Nigeria.
Okay.
The thing we need is that we have to notarize your document.
Okay.
Your address and your means of ID.
Okay.
Because we are not seeing you, we are not here. So you have to notarize it. And notarization simply means that a lawyer over there has said, if anything is wrong with this, hold me responsible.
Okay.
I stand to say that this is right.
Okay. This simply is just to authenticate the document that the person is sent.
Yeah. Then if it's for that address verification of address over there, like somebody in UK will ask of council tax. That's what they call council tax in UK. Okay. That shows that this is where you are living.
Okay.
And different place, different things. Do you understand? But you need to notarize the document. It's become authentic.
Okay.
You understand? Then another thing that we also ask you, your ID. You must show us evidence that you have come to Nigeria within the last 3 years.
Okay.
Within the last 3 years. Though we try to subpedal on that evidence of having come to Nigeria within the last 3 years because of COVID-19. You know, because of COVID-19, there were restrictions. People didn't come home in 2020, in 2021. But now, we soft pedal on it, on that requirement. So, but you show us all the evidences. If you have a supplementary or complementary address in Nigeria, you tell us, we also verify it.
Okay.
You understand? But you must have an account here in Nigeria. You must have an account in Nigeria, which is going to be the payment account. Do you understand? Where we are going
for the repayment.
For the repayment.
Okay.
So that is the basic thing. So if you are doing business, good. If you are working, good. But you must do something legal. We cannot finance you when you are doing something illegal over there. Okay. Of course, your documents will even show that you are doing something illegal over there.
Okay.
So that is the requirement.
Now that's great. That's great. Although from the requirement already, I'm already looking at some of the challenges, because I have some contacts that have been investing here, and they haven't been to Nigeria for like 15 years. Some of them have not been to Nigeria in 10 years, and I've been over there. And I've been investing here, buying properties and all. So in terms of having been visited Nigeria in the past 3 years, I don't know, is that a core requirement?
Yeah, it is. But the thing is that one thing about mortgage, we look at it individual by individual.
Okay.
So, if somebody has not been in Nigeria for the past 3, 4, 5 years, the implication of it is, if you give you mortgage, you can say, after all, what am I doing? Do I even go there? If I'm not able to pay, they can sell the house.
Okay.
But we're not in the business of selling houses. Okay, precisely. I work with Homebased Mortgage Bank Limited.
Okay.
So, and Homebased Mortgage Bank Limited, we are not in the business of selling people's houses.
Okay.
Rather, we are in business of putting people in their houses.
Okay.
So understand. So it's not really our concern. Some people say, after all, the bank will foreclose. We don't even want a situation of foreclosure that we are going to sell your property.
Yeah.
We rather want you, whenever you go inside our house, you remember, yes, I finance this house through
Homebased Mortgage
Bank that finance this house. So we look at a situation like this. We look at it case by case.
Okay.
It's not cast on stone.
Okay.
We look at it case by case.
Okay.
When you provide a lot of things, of course, we know people you want to invite. Somebody may not have been in Nigeria for 20 years,
okay,
but he has started occurring to him that I want to come to Nigeria, I want to live in Nigeria, I want to retire in Nigeria. The person want to buy a house. We cannot say we are not going to finance that such person.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
So it's a requirement. It's a necessary requirement, but it's not cast on stone.
Okay. Okay. Well, I like the fact that there is flexibility there, because definitely, because some people might want maybe looking at financing and maybe they have 50% equity already. Some people have 60% equity. Some people have the entire money, but they're just reluctant that why should I pay everything once when at least I can just finance over 10 years or finance over 15 years, and then the mortgage option is there. So the flexibility also creates more opportunities for our investors that are looking. And secondly, looking at a lot of these people over there, a lot of them won't really be buying these houses for personal use. A lot of them will be looking at as for investment purposes, either for rental income, for short lets, and some even may be looking at maybe for capital preservation, which means that they just want to buy this property and then just rent it out because of the rental value of the location. We already know what the rental value of like places like Orchid, Ibamade, Sonya, and the Lekki Axis is already doing now, and that's also attracting a lot of people over there. So hope that's also permissible for people that are buying these properties.
Well, there are reasons why people buy property.
Definitely.
So the most important reason for buying property is to create a home for you and your family.
Yes.
But a situation that is a no in mind, what we do, we are not saying that you shouldn't invest with the property we finance, but you need to carry us along. You need to tell us, you need to inform us before you do that. Because the property is co-owned.
Yeah.
So we need to be aware of what you want to do with the property. Once you inform us, it's also a flexible.
For a couple of contacts that don't understand the fact about co-own is, if you buy a property with mortgage, the property only becomes fully yours when you have sought the mortgage on it, when you are fully paid for the mortgage. That's when the property is fully owned by you. Pending when you are still paying for the mortgage, the property is not yours yet, because you don't have the title yet. At least I think I'm right. It's only a mortgage deed that you have on that property, which show that there's a lien on that property. Is when you are fully paid for that property that then you now have full authorization on that property. So pending when you are still paying the mortgage, definitely there will be some terms and conditions with the mortgage finance company.
The way this mortgage is done, if you take a mortgage, if you finance a house through mortgage, there's what we call deed of legal mortgage. Deed of legal mortgage is a document registered in Alausa to show that the property is on mortgage. There's a third party to that property. Then it's different from deed of assignment. Deed of assignment is entirely in your name.
Yes, title to you.
Once it's registered, we withheld it pending when you finish payment. If you finish paying today, we hand over your deed of assignment to you, registered deed of assignment to you, as the case may be. Then the deed of legal mortgage, now we release it. It will be released in Alausa to show that the mortgage is no longer existing. Do you understand? So that is just the thing. There are other things. There are documents, of course, loan is not free. They also document a lot of documents. There are documents you sign off to show
insurance, taxes.
We make it like just so as you mentioned, insurance in Homebased Mortgage Bank. What we also try to do, we have two types of insurances. One, we call it mortgage protection insurance. Then the second one is property protection insurance. Mortgage protection insurance is insurance against that mortgage. Like if you are working and you have a mortgage protection insurance, if you happen to lose your job, the insurance will come in and pay for 1 year for you. It's assumed that within that 1 year, you are supposed to get another job, or if you venture into business, you will break even. Do you understand? So it also lends credence to the fact that I told you we are not interested in selling houses. So within that time, there's also options of, in fact, in Homebased Mortgage Bank, there's a lot of restructuring we did to make sure that we are flexible with the customers. And the most important thing, we want the housing subsector to flourish. So the second one is property protection insurance. The property protection insurance is just an insurance policy against something like fire. Do you understand?
Would that also cover if, let's say, God forbid, collapse?
It covers collapse, but in the case of collapse, we're also subject to structural scrutiny, defects, to know where it's coming from. So that is what we do in Homebased Mortgage Bank. We do two insurances just to protect you, the customer. And generally, aside from it's just coming up in Nigeria, aside from a mortgage property, it's also advisable. We keep on telling people, put your house on insurance. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. So but in Nigeria, you see Nigeria, even sometimes they find it difficult to insure houses. They even find it difficult to renovate houses. Some of the houses you see within the Lagos mainland, you see the paint, the owner, the Baba painted when he built the house. That is still the paint that is there. You understand? But now, what we're also trying to create awareness. renovate your house. You can say 5 years, I want to do 1 or 2 renovations in the house. It makes the house to have value.
Yeah, that's
true. Value. Should you want to sell?
Yeah,
it creates a lot of value.
Even for the rental market also.
So this is what we're also doing as a kind of awareness creation in Homebased Mortgage Bank.
Okay, that's great. That's great. What I even find most interesting is about the mortgage, the first insurance you mentioned about, in terms of if the person lost his or her job, because that creates a lot of leeway for you, knowing that an insurance covered your mortgage at least for 1 year, and then you know that within 1 year you can get your feet back up. And because we also know that there is a lot of unforeseen circumstances, a lot of things happen over there too, and people at times move from one city to another, and then they have to start their life afresh again in the new city, or even from one country to another, and then again they have to start their life afresh. So having this kind of insurance policy covers them is really a fantastic idea. Now, lastly, for this particular session, what we'll be looking at next is the interest rate, really, and which have been like one of my biggest challenges with a lot of Nigerians abroad, particularly when they compare with the rates that are paying over there, maybe in Europe or in US, and then here you're telling them they have to pay maybe 18, 19, 20% interest. First